I want to give double honors to the apostles of GMS that ruleth well. And peace, blessings, salutations to the hopeful elect out there. And as you see in front of me is, really the hatred of Esau. And this was depicted from a writer, a Edomite, by Robert Crumb, depicting, what they see about the so-called black woman here in America. And this was actually done in the 1960s. You had the build-up of why the nigger woman is the way she is. And it's been, given liberty by the man that's in charge, which are the biblical Edomites, for the moment. And what Esau has done is took the so-called black woman. She's, the most broken, bitter, much anger, and the much very misguided one. So Esau plays on her insecurities and depicts, and gave her a path to go. And it was in straight dysfunction. This was actually, conjured up during the sexual liberation. So this is what Esau thinks about you. So as you can see, and it goes into the history, Angel Food McSpade is a comic book character created and drawn by the 1960 counterculture figure and underground comics artist Robert Crumb. This is the devil. This is the devil right here. Robert Dennis Crumb is an American cartoonist who often signs his work R. Crumb. His work displays a nostalgia for American folk culture of the late 19th and early 20th centuries, and a satire of contemporary American culture. When you go back into the early cartoon era, Bugs Bunny before the Looney Tunes, etc., Popeye, etc., they had a lot of, caricature and, racist, depictions in those cartoons. This devil always been racist. He always did not like us. We always been a reproach. But they say that we are not the chosen people, and they claim to be they claim to say they're the real Jays, but it doesn't line up with the scripture. So it says the character first appeared in the Philadelphia-based underground newspaper Yarrow Stalks #2 in July 1967, making her comics debut in the second issue of Zap Comics, June 1968. Salaki. Damn. Characterization. Angel McSpade is a satirical portrayal of a stereotypical black woman. Satire is a genre of visual literary. And see, remember, me and the brothers always go into that in the, Virginia, about that visual. The visual, that's what Esau does with his witchcraft. It goes into Isaiah 47. Satire is a genre of visual, literary, and performing arts, usually in the form of fiction and less frequently nonfiction, in which vices, follies, abuses, and shortcomings are held up to ridicule, often with the intent of exposing or shaming the perceived flaws of individuals. I don't know if I can open it up and get more, but you get the point. So she is depicted as a large, bare-breasted tribeswoman dressed in nothing but a skirt made out of palm tree leaves. She is drawn with big lips, golden rings around her neck, and in her ears, huge breasts, large round buttocks, and speaks jive. And African American English. That's what they call it. Talking all that, that jive talk. So it says African American English is the set of English sociolects spoken by most black people in the United States. So that, here it is, Esau even getting at us how we talk. But when he brought us over here as slaves, so-called blacks, West Indians, and the so-called Haitians make up the southern tribes. He broke us, put the fear in us, and he didn't allow us to read. And now, many years later, Now he talks about, he wants to make fun of how we talk. But that's just how this devil is. Spoken by most black people in the United States and many in Canada. Most commonly, it refers to a dialect continuum ranging from African American vernacular English to a more standard American English, like all widely spoken language. It was a better matter of fact. Let me see something. New article. The hell is this? Okay, so like all widely spoken language varieties, African American English shows variation stylistically, generationally, geographically, that is, features specific to singular cities or regions only, in rural versus urban characteristics and vernacular. You get the point. So, God damn it. What the hell is going on? Her name references angel food cake and the racial slur spade. According to the second issue of Zap Comics, she has been confined to the wilds of darkest Africa because civilization would be threatened if she were allowed to do whatever she pleased. It is not clear whether she was born in Africa or born in the United States and then sent to Africa. Her type of clothing suggests she is African, but her jive talk suggests she is from the United States. Angel Food is depicted as a nymphomaniac. Let's go to that. You see, cause that's what. Hey, who does that pop up to? What? Damn. What's your first thought that pops up to your mind? Sexy Red, Sukiana, and there's many more. What is it? What's that bitch from the deli? Ice Spice. You have I guess I don't know these new chicks out here. Like I said, there's many more. Shalaki. So hypersexuality is a term used for a presumed mental disorder causing people to engage in or think about sex to a point of distress or impairment. You see that? And that's what our people have become because Esau narrated them to think so. So, one thing, that's why it was so easy for the so-called black woman to feed along with the sexual liberation and, what is it, feminism. So hypersexual, I'm going to actually go into more about it. Because, hey, man, since a little kid, that's all was thrown in our faces. Sex, 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 sex. That's why people have took in the Freaknik, etc. It is controversial whether it should be included as a clinical diagnosis used by mental health care professionals. So, hold on, let me see something. All right, so you get the point. Going back. And open to sexual intercourse. Thus, you have the so-called black woman leading number one with all sexual perversion, aka etc. The porn industry. In many of her stories, she is accompanied by Snoid, and it says Snoid is the Snoid, occasionally referred to as Mr. Snoid, is an American Underground comics character created by Robert Crumb again in the mid 1960s, a diminutive sex fiend and an irritating presence. The Snoid often appears with other Crumb characters, particularly Angel Food. Mr. Natural and Crumb's own self caricature. I don't know what the hell I just saw at the end, but hey, this is Esau for you. Esau and his visuals and what he depicts. Again, that's we have become a reproach. So it says, another Crumb's character was portrayed a short-statured asshole known for his fetishes, sex cravings, and disdain for materialism. Policemen prevent other sexually aroused men from meeting angel food. In a later story, three men bring her to the United States civilians clean in order to gain success. While she does this, the men push her head inside the toilet and violate her. She is very naive and easily abused or even raped by the horny men who surround her, though being a nymphomaniac, she is not bothered by this. Often she is vulnerable to assault while being asleep or unconscious. And that's what the so-called black woman has become. Basically, the so-called white man's whore. Going back to the slave, going back to slavery, because when the so-called white man wanted you in slavery, you were his delight, and there was nothing you could do. So he would, find you, look at you, lust over you, and he would take you. Same thing today, and it's even worse today because, you so-called black women, y'all don't have no hedge. Y'all think shit is sweet. That's why it's cute for y'all to do these little girl trips, girls' night out. Walk around half naked, all on social media, putting half naked pictures, etc. Escort, prostitute, and the whole time, people are stupid because the only thing put on the news, and these are the things that will never hit the news. The constant abduction of the so-called black woman, I believe, actually yesterday. Now that was his sister, the so-called Hispanic, but they're still part of the tribes. But it was an Amber Alert with a so-called Hispanic chick, I believe, last night. But it says Angel has a tendency to walk bare-breasted even in cities. However, no one seems to stop her from walking around half naked. Hey, that's self-explanatory. In another story, she saves two boys, Chuck and Bob, from being eaten by members of her own tribe. They flee from the tribe to the U.S., where she spends the night with the boys, and afterwards she goes to the hairdresser. When she returns, she has bleached her skin, changed her hair and clothing, and learned fluent English, much to the disappointment of the two boys. In another story, she asks Hugh Hefner if she can become a Playboy bunny, but when Hefner sees her in an outfit, he cannot resist laughing. This makes her so angry that she attacks him. In the last panel, she and Mr. Natural, while company, are kicked out of Hefner's office. Let me see. So controversy. Angel Food McSpade is one of Crumb's most notorious targets for accusation of sexism and racism. Crumb has responded that he did not invent racist caricatures like angel food, but that they used to be part of the American culture in which he was raised. Yeah, because you Edomites was raised to, hate us, disdain us, and that's, you Edomites. And even that hatred goes back into the womb. So, it's evident, and this is not something that you can just throw underneath the rug or the carpet, so to speak. This is has to be talked about. It has to be put out there. He saw the character as a criticism of the racist stereotype itself and assumed that the young liberal hippie intellectual audience who read his work were not racist and would understand his intention for it. No, it was racist. You know what you was doing. The devil always tries to clean up his act when he's how you say that when the finger is pointed at him, the devil always tries to run and hide. But no, you're a devil. So let me matter of fact, our perpetual hatred. Hold on. I think it's Ezekiel. Yeah. So Ezekiel 35:1. Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it. And again, even when you go into I believe Isaiah the third chapter, it talks about how the Lord's going to punish the women of Jerusalem. How he's going to take the glory from them. And look how Esau depicted our women, the so-called starting with the so-called black woman. And that's what Esau does. He prays off the Israelite woman, mainly the so-called black woman. And he also does it amongst the Northern Kingdom women, so-called Latino Hispanic tribes, and the Native American women. They say unto it, thus said the Lord Yahweh, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate. And thou shalt know that I am the Lord, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, the Lord Yahweh, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. So if thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. I believe it was another one that can't find it, but there was a couple more that I wanted. Hold on, bear with me one moment. It was. What is this? Hold on. So this is the curses that was going to befall upon the children of Israel. And now Jeremiah 24:9, I'm gonna jump around. And I will deliver them to be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth, for their hurt to be a reproach and a proverb, a taunt and a curse in all places where I shall drive them. And that's why where the places that we dwell, Jake is not liked. We don't want to be. We're not wanted. We're taken advantage of, and our image is destroyed. And everything that Esau does to give us some type of fame or light is to degrade our people, is to degrade ourselves. It's never to lift our people up, or try to redeem or fix our people. So it says, Jeremiah 29:18, and I will persecute them with the sword, with the famine, and with the pestilence, and will deliver them to be removed to all the kingdoms of the earth, to be a curse and an astonishment and a hissing and a reproach among all the nations, whether I have driven them. And the so-called black man and woman, and the Hispanics and the Latinos and Native Americans wonder why to this day, why we're not liked, why we're told to shut up, why we're despised. Well, it's because you are the children of Israel. It was a couple more. Um, Jeremiah 51:51. We are confounded because we have heard reproach. Yep. And and it shows. Shame have covered our faces, for strangers are coming to the sanctuary of our Lord's house, and that's real. Because the people, here it is, that's calling themselves the Jays, the old Jays. Here it is, nothing suits them or fits them to be the people of the Lord. But here it is that they're throwing away the most accusations, man. So Ezekiel 5:14. Moreover, I will make thee waste and a reproach among the nations that are round about thee in the sight of all nations that pass by. Hold on real quick. Yep. It's talking about that in the anger of the Lord. What's going to happen to our people? Moreover, I will make thee waste, Ezekiel 5:14, and a reproach among the nations that are round about thee in the sight of all that pass by. So it shall be a reproach and a taunt and instruction and astonishment to the nations that are round about thee, when I shall execute judgments in thee in anger and in fury and in furious rebukes. I the Lord, have spoken it. And Daniel 9:16, and I'm going to end it. O Lord, according to all thy righteousness, I beseech thee, let thine anger and thy fury be turned away from thy city, Jerusalem, thy holy mountain, because for our sins and for our iniquities of our fathers, Jerusalem and thy people are become a reproach to all that are round about us. So again, this is how the world looks at us. This was something I wanted to look at another time. But there you have it. Going back to the topic, Angel Food McSpade, and the so-called black woman. This is we have become a reproach, and 2/3, and these so-called black women here in America, they gotta go. They have to go because it's more of a variety of them to continuing on what they're doing. They don't disregard the message what's being taught to them, and this message has been pushed. And man, it's always been the talk of the town. I've been hearing this since I was a kid, man. The so-called black woman is fucking off. She's bugged out. She's wicked. She's out of order. And you keep having these simps and these old beta simps, keep trying to justify their doings of the so-called black woman. The so-called black woman has fallen for the snare, the trap, the tricks, the wiles, the vices of Esau. And now look at her. And at the end of the day, they fail to realize that, Esau don't like them. You're nothing but a play toy. You're a sexual object to them. You're nothing but a bed wench to the white man, to the Edomites. But they can't see it. So what has to happen to them? They got to be nuked. They got to be destroyed. They got to be put to death. They have to be put down. Because the so-called black woman here in America has gotten out of hand to the point where serious measurements will have to be taken upon her. But with that, Lord's will, you will be edified. Hey, shalom.